A brand new Xbox leak comes to us in the form of some wild hardware, and The Last of Us on PC has had a rough launch. We got all that for you and more up next. What up guys, this is Kalo and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content, drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Weekend XP Share. So to start things off, I want to talk about that supposed Diablo 4 Xbox Series X. It was debunked by Microsoft, but let's just get into that. So like I mentioned, I wanted to take a quick second to talk about that recently rumored Diablo 4 edition of the Xbox Series X, which now seems to be debunked by Microsoft themselves, officially revealing that Diablo 4 is going to be bundled with a normal Series X. Now, the original leak around this console came from Twitter user Bill Coon, who sent out a tweet that read, "A new Xbox Series X Diablo 4 edition is on the way." No idea about the design, but it hasn't had the word bundle in its reference. And as far as this leaker goes, they did leak the announcement of Hi-Fi Rush before it was initially announced by Microsoft, along with the Mario Day Switch bundle, so it's always hit or miss when it comes to leaks like this. But as far as that officially announced bundle goes, it's going to include some in-game content, but I feel like this is such a massive missed opportunity when talking about Diablo 4 and its popularity and what it could have done for the Series X. It's also pretty crazy to see how Microsoft is already collaborating with Activision before the deal has officially gone through, and it's still being mulled over by regulators. Xbox is looking to get this deal set in stone by June, which coincides with the game's release date. So if the deal's approved by June and Diablo is primed to be a smash hit, and maybe even a Game of the Year candidate for Xbox, why not capitalize on it and release a special console for it? Now we shift focus to some rather bad news when it comes to The Last of Us on PC. And I think it's pretty safe to say everybody was excited for The Last of Us on PC, but that went stale quickly. Sony has slowly been dripping out their first-party IPs into the world of PC gaming, and The Last of Us is their next big attempt at that. But what could go wrong? The show had wrapped up with rave reviews, and part 1 was a masterclass of gaming and storytelling. Unfortunately, this launch had a very rough go on the PC. Now, the PC port of this game is facing a lot of criticism, and rightfully so, when it comes to game-breaking glitches and the refund policies on Steam. User reviews for The Last of Us Part 1 on Steam is currently sitting at a 33%, with more than 7,000 reviews, which is a pretty good sample size. In the case for The Last of Us Part 1, the issues stem from game optimization for the PC, with reports of constant crashing after only an hour of gameplay. And for that refund policy problem, Steam does offer users the chance to get a refund for a game they didn't enjoy or play before 2 hours of gameplay are logged. But in the case of this game, before you even play the game, you must compile shaders, which does take an hour, and this counts towards the game's playtime on Steam. And of course, as many of you know, the game's first hour is pretty cutscene heavy, so there's your 2 hours of gameplay before you can even truly start the game. And this sucks to hear, because The Last of Us Part 1 is such a great game, and I'm sure there's a lot of interest for fans coming over from the show, so this really isn't a good first impression. But I'm sure the issues will be resolved, and I'm sure by the time I upload this video, there's going to be patches, so I would just advise you, if you've yet to purchase the game or have been thinking about getting the game, just hold off for a little bit and then get it. And to close things out, I got a quick bit of news coming from the Steam Deck and a rather interesting software that will be available on the Steam Deck very soon. So the Dolphin Emulator is a GameCube and Wii emulator that has been around for quite some time. But Dolphin recently announced they're planning on releasing the emulator directly to the Steam shop with a planned Q2 release date. But if you'd like, you can go wishlist this on Steam right now. They also announced this software will work on Mac, Windows, and Linux, meaning you can install this directly to your Steam Deck. And this is great news for Steam Deck users because it already adds to their massive library of mobile games, so they just keep winning. Of course, emulation is a weird slope to venture down with a whole bunch of legal and albeit moral gray areas, but I'm just really surprised this is actually happening for that reason. But as per usual, I will pass this question off to you guys. If you did happen to play the Diablo 4 beta, what are your thoughts on it? Me personally, I'm never really into RTS games or anything top-down. It's just not my thing, but looking at some gameplay while making this video, I'm actually pretty intrigued. But that about does it here. I've been Kalo. I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming. Again, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content, drop a like on the video, and this has been your Weekend XP Share.